Ladies and gentlemen, we're here.
I'm part of the Kliq, isn't everybody?
Yes! 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 I got an idea, yeah. Beat up John Cena!
Give me a hell yeah!
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Too sweet! This is where the power lies!
I am the man.
Beat me if you can! Come on!
It's showtime, folks!
The following episode is scheduled for one fall, and it is for your listening pleasure. This is In The Kliq.
What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here, and joining me once again is my brother Tommy. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
And also joining us is our good brother from Pro Wrestling 101 on Instagram. It's Richard. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, Danny. How you doing, Danny D?
Oh, that's why we're supposed to do this episode all in Tony D'Angelo.
No.
Hey!
We'll do that later. We'll do that later.
Okay.
William wants to be on that episode, by the way.
All right.
Hey, would you do that?
The episode where we lose all of our listeners.
I know, that's the thing. That's what I'm worried about. Everyone's going to be like, what the hell is this? Oh!
The gabagoo.
Then he hit him with the gabagoo. Oh! Yeah.
Very disrespectful, Daniel. Very disrespectful.
Oh! Get out of here. Forget about it. But no, here we are back at it for another episode of In The Kliq. Of course, this one we will talk all about Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, but first, we will talk about NXT. I thought I'd mix it up. Let's talk NXT first because
they didn't even warn me.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They had the big show this week. They had the return of Halloween Havoc, I guess under the quote NXT umbrella. This one's even technically the NXT 2.0 era of Halloween Havoc. And yeah, it was this past Tuesday. Oh, by the way, Richard, happy Halloween. Forgot to say that.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
What's so happy about it?
That it's Sunday. Starting another work week.
It's the Lord's Day.
It's trick or treat.
It's the Lord's Day. Did you go trick or treating?
No.
I see you dressed up like the tugboat today.
No, not the Shockmaster.
Actually, no, I dressed up as Stone Cold. Earlier I did in the week at work and stuff, but yeah, no, it's funny. We have all the lights turned off in the other room, so no kids come up. Some kids came up to our door early, and it was still daylight outside.
It was 5 o'clock. When
yeah, man. Yeah. Like, come on,
it's a school night. It's a school night. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, I know. Anyway, so yeah,
they got a curfew.
We're gonna eat the candy for ourselves. We're saving it. Screw the kids.
Wow. See, this is a true story. This is for those of you who don't have kids. Buy your candy tomorrow because it's all on sale.
That's right.
Yes, that is true. Absolutely. November 1st.
I still have a bag of bubblegum pops on my table from last year. The chocolate is gone.
Oh, okay.
And go to Grocery Outlet. They got tons of candy there.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm thinking, so same thing like December 26th, get all your gift wrap, half price for next year, stock up. Valentine's Day, February 15th?
14th. Oh, yeah.
15th, yeah. 15th. So, yeah, okay. Richard, I like what you're saying. That's a good tip for the consumers out there. So, but yes, Halloween Havoc came and went this past Tuesday night on NXT 2.0. This show, I was really interested to see how this was going to play out because with the rebranding of 2.0 or NXT, I should say, I think there's a lot of questions up in the air still about the future and the presentation. Are they going to have pay-per-views, aka their version of takeovers, or are they going to be strictly, just TV based from here on out since they're really more just being developmental again? So would they put that much effort in them having pay-per-views of their own? So we don't know about the future of NXT as far as what they're going to do with later takeovers, if that's going to be part of the future plans, whatnot. So nonetheless, I was excited for Halloween Havoc because it's their first theme show of the 2.0 era. So I wanted to see how it was gonna look. And there were some things I really liked, some things I didn't like, and we'll get into that.
Boy.
But
We are on the same page here.
Okay, so yeah,
there was a lot I didn't like.
Yeah. Okay, me too.
I thought all the shenanigans between matches was pretty terrible.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right.
Because like it's all senses of humors from people that we still don't know. So it's like none of it, like I don't care about any of it. And it's kind of I'm of putting the onus on management of NXT because there was plenty of people that have been around before the 2.0 that they didn't utilize. And the haunted house stuff was horrendous.
It was pointless, I thought. It was a waste of time.
I mean, they didn't even plug. They should have plugged the people that do that, if anything, because it was just like, are we supposed to believe that these people are dead or like this was just blatantly bad to me.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about some of the stuff because like you, I thought there was some great in-ring action that there were elements that remind me of like a takeover pass.
This was the worst thing that Jeremy Borash has done in WWE to me.
And then, there were other parts of this that felt like very much like a variety show or just random entertainment segment they just threw in there. Yeah. So we didn't see as many long matches that we would see on a theme show or a takeover. Instead, the matches were still pretty short like we've seen recently. And then they really filled in with a lot look like last minute stuff with open challenge we'll get into and Chucky and all that stuff. So, okay, let's touch on that first. All the entertainment stuff. Let's talk on that real quick. So, Chucky, I guess, was the official host for this edition of Halloween Havoc. Little synergy there because Chucky, the TV series, is airing both on USA and Sci-Fi Network. So he made appearances throughout the night.
I've got no problem with that.
Yeah, what'd you think
I'm fine with. I thought they should have done more with him and Steiner.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a missed opportunity.
I know. Oh my God. I totally was bummed. Like, I did enjoy, whenever Chucky was on screen and referenced Steiner or Braun Breaker, he called him a pup. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
They should have played with it where it's like, gosh, you look familiar. I know you from somewhere, blah, blah, blah. And Bronson should have just been like, no, you don't know me. Like just playing it off like he clearly knows, but he's not going to acknowledge it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, at one point when Braun was like getting ready in the locker room, he saw Chucky. He's like, hey, he looked familiar or something. So a quick little, Easter egg or a wink to the audience, for us older people who grew up, obviously, watching Monday Night Nitro and the whole Steiner Chucky connection there. What was that again? It was just Chucky on the screen and Rick Steiner.
For when Bride of Chucky was coming out.
Yes, I remember this.
I believe Rick Steiner was WCW Tag Team Champion with Judy Bagwell at the time, Buff Bagwell's mom.
Oh, yeah.
And Chucky came on the screen to distract Rick Steiner before his match.
Man.
Yeah, just plain head
But
games.
it's like an iconic, like,
mind game.
Hilarious. Like, it's kind of one of those things that gets a pass from everyone because it's so stupid it's funny.
Yeah. So
because, like, Steiner's playing, like, along with it.
Yeah, exactly. and that's the thing is like I felt like it was a missed opportunity on this show where they could have really had more interaction between the two of them, between Braun Breaker and Chucky. I mean, there was that little segment between the two of them really quick. And then throughout the night, though, whenever Chucky was talking about the main event, he just kept calling him a little pup, which was cool. So, on this episode, they did as much as they could of acknowledging Braun Breaker is a Steiner without calling him a Steiner. That was the main thing. I'm watching this and just looking at that and listening. So I enjoyed the Chucky stuff. I enjoyed the synergy there. And I thought it was a great host. We had Shotzi Blackheart last year, then Chucky this year. I'm with you. The haunted house stuff was just goofy. It was more of just Carmelo Hayes trying to get back his North American title.
It wasn't even like I can forgive things that are like, I don't find this funny, but like I could see why a kid would find it funny. This wasn't either. Like this was just like we spent a lot of time doing this and now we're out of time. Let's just put out what we gave them.
So it's interesting because Johnny Gargano looks like he's going full babyface again, and now Dexter Lumis is like his right hand man. So I guess Lumis is now a babyface as well, and Dexter
Lumis needs a new coat of paint, as they say.
Yeah, yes. That guy, he's hit his ceiling really quick in NXT. I always thought.
Well, he doesn't say anything. I mean, it's like the foreign talent that doesn't speak any English.
He's becoming an afterthought.
He's so one-sided and one-dimensional. He hit his wall a long time ago. So it looks like
good in-ring talent, but like when was the last time he had a real match?
Yeah. It's always been some sort of gimmick. I mean, I guess maybe Roderick Strong and him. Remember the belt?
I don't.
The leather strap match? That was a while ago.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, so it looks like Johnny and Carmelo Hayes, that's going to be a program between the two of them. So I'm sure Johnny's going to help put over Carmelo Hayes to a certain extent. So, and then the Halloween party. What'd you think about that as far as they kept cutting?
Lame. I don't know who any of those people are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't like, I've seen him enough now that I can comfortably say I don't like this Grayson guy.
Okay, and so he is all about just.
I'm really cool. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me. I'm swiping right, ladies, man, dating that, and he's trying to talk to all these people, and I'm so bummed because we all love Cameron Grimes, and he's like sabotaging Cameron Grimes' like character and reputation, and now Cameron Grimes, even though
I'll just do what you're doing. I'll come across as the cool guy.
Dude, you're
rich. Not cool.
Yeah, you're rich. You don't need this loser Australian dude over here. Like you're Cameron Grimes, man. You're a former $1 million champion. Like, you got enough good things going on with you. Call Ted DiBiase. We need Ted DiBiase to come back and slap the ass out Grayson Waller. Stay away from my boy.
This is what I need a soundboard.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, the Halloween party, it was goofy. Then that one guy dressed like Freddie Mercury, it turned to a whole brawl at the end. So I think it was their attempt to be like, remember the old Halloween parties with like on SmackDown, and so when John Cena had the big hair and the suit, and
I get it that Shotzi was busy, but she was so good last year.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Then
they did the bit where it's like Eli Drake was late, and they never even explained that. And it's like, why would he be late? He's hosting it.
Yeah. So Grayson Waller dressed like Dracula goes into the ring, and then Eli Drake shows up. He's dressed like Dracula, and then they have like
LA Knight,
or when I say Eli Drake, oh my god, LA Knight. Yeah, he shows up and they have like a whole thing in the ring. And it's like, okay, I guess they're going to have a program between the two of them now. But it was just, like, why was he late? And it just, some of that stuff, just fell flat. I'm with you on that.
All of it. For me, all of it. And I sat there and I watched it all live, and it was just like, oh my God.
Yeah. So
this is not good.
Yeah. So let's jump in. So the first match was for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. It was the ladder match. So we saw Io Shirai and
Zoe Stark,
along with Indy Hartwell and her friend Persia Parada.
Yeah.
And then
Gigi Dolan and JC
James. My girls.
Yeah, from Toxic Attraction.
This match, I'll give them an A for effort.
I give them an A for effort and F when it comes to quality of match.
Yeah.
Very
sloppy.
This was
sloppy.
Not even that. It was just spot for spots.
Yeah.
Like there was no storytelling. It was just bump, 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 big bump, big bump, big bump. The problem, the reason I say that, and I know that like a lot of younger people might not get it, but the problem with that is, what spot do you remember the most? And it's the Io Shirai spot. But what were the other spots then? And if you can't remember them, then why did you do it? Because you get hurt, or you did get hurt.
Yeah, no, Rich, you brought up a very good point. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like these gals, like I said, give them A for effort for putting their bodies on the line. Yeah, putting their bodies on the line, I give them that. But yeah, just to do it for the sake of doing it when it's not part of maybe a strategy or an important moment in the match. Yeah, a lot of this stuff just happened. I'm like, okay, it's forgot about now.
You're doing it like it's a body slam or a suplex. Then why are you doing it? Like, you can get seriously, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember anything besides the Io Shirai spot.
Yeah.
Like, I know that there was like several other people getting slammed on the ladder. I just don't remember it.
And that's the thing too. Also, like when
plus we got a ladder match on Monday.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I like how sloppy it was. It was just, listen, I know they're all very, some of them are very green. Some of them been around for a minute, and some are very experienced. It was a great mixture in that sense. But, Yeah, no, it was like the timing, like some of these girls would climb up the ladder and it's like no one was around. And it's like, for the sake of believability, it was like, come on, you could go a little faster. It just like they were taking their time and like it just didn't look real. It's like it didn't.
When was the last time you climbed a ladder?
Last week, actually, before the rainstorm. That's right, Tommy.
Yeah, it was. And just like this match, there was
fair enough. No,
but I'm just saying, it's like, you know, you want the titles, go up a little bit faster, and then therefore the opponents need to step up and come after you faster. I just felt like it was a little too slow.
But that was the problem, was that they were going too fast. You know? I mean, like they were all waiting and timing this up, because remember they had said at the top of the show, the first half an hour was all dedicated to no commercials.
Yeah.
But it felt like they used that entire half an hour.
Yeah.
Like they could have gotten other stuff in there, but it was just like
they crammed in a lot in that first 30 minutes.
And I think the rest of the show somewhat suffered because they were trying to catch up.
So ultimately, besides Io Shirai taking that big bump, which, God, it looked so painful. But then eventually saw Gigi Dolan, JC Jane go up there and grab which is interesting. She grabbed one title, and then she grabbed after the bell rang, then she grabbed the other one, handed to Gigi. I wasn't sure if she had to grab like the whole handle down or whatnot. But anyway, they are now the new women's NXT Tag Team Champions, so congrats to them.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah. And now, you know, I'm kind of curious where Io Shirai goes from here. Does her and Zoe start a program or off TV for a while? We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, then let's see. Next up, like another match that was just kind of thrown in there, wasn't announced. Joe Gacy taking on Malik Blade. Very quick match. Yeah. And then we saw I want to say Brock Lesnar Jr., but it's what's his name? I'm still
Parker Bordeaux.
Harlan.
Parker Bordeaux, but Harlan.
Harlan. Yeah.
He comes walking into the arena, and it looks like Joe Gacy has him in control. I mean, what do you? Yeah. We kind of touched on this last week. It looks like they're starting
something.
Is like a cult, or Joe Gacy? He's like going to control Harlan.
I wish we got these answers a little. I don't like that they're teasing it week by week, because we don't know who these people are, so why should we care? So it's like, keep me interested during the show. If this is that early on in the show, do something with both of them later in the show so we could see something. Because it's like, I don't remember what they did last week. I remember that Harlan came out and did something, but like I don't really have great memory of that. What exactly was going on? They're just playing this weird, creepy, I'm touching your face thing, and it's like, and I'm for Gacy and the character and everything, but like, keep me invested during the show.
Yeah, and then later on we saw Diamond Mine. Malcolm Bivens cut a little promo and just open challenge, and what I liked about this is he put the whole team up for a challenge. Like, whoever's in the locker room, do you want to challenge Roderick Strong for the Cruiserweight title, the brothers, or the girl? It was like, you know, everyone was available.
I thought New Jack was going to come out. So
I thought Rob Van Dam was going to come out.
That was the ongoing gag in ECW. Some guy would come out and make an open challenge, and then New Jack's music would hit and the crowd would go nuts. So.
Yeah. But dude, one of our favorite moments in ECW was when Rhino came out and says, "Who wants to challenge me for this title?"
Oh, yeah.
And Rob Van Dam made his big return.
The last show. Last pay-per-view.
Yeah. And then but his music, the Pantera
walk.
I've been trying to find that clip for.
I know.
Dude, you can find that, because
I have it on DVD. I just can't find it on the internet.
Because Tommy and I,
that was one of my favorite ECW moments.
Oh my god, that was so good. So anyway, Diamond Mine, they're all up for open challenge. Odyssey Jones answers the call, but he wants to challenge Roderick Strong, and he's like. And Malcolm Bivens like, "You're not under 205," and he's like, "No, I don't care about the title. I just want Roderick Strong." Yeah. I'm like, "Okay, that's cool."
Good match. First good match of the night.
Yeah. I mean, of course, it's Roderick Strong. Dude is always going to put on great matches. But Odyssey Jones, I'm really, I'm a big fan of his so far. His personality, larger than life, all that stuff.
He's got a bright smile.
Yeah, but he lost here, so he's been on a little bit of a losing streak, though. So that's my only concern.
He's brand new. It's fine.
Yeah. So Roderick Strong picked up a victory, though. So it's like Diamond Mine still looking very strong as a faction right now in NXT. Yeah, it's all good. By the way, did you see the Creed brothers on SmackDown part of the 24/7 run-in? I was like, what?
But they've been doing dark matches, or they did a dark match recently.
That's good, man. Hey, we're all big
More
fans
experience.
of them. Yeah, exactly. So next up was for the NXT Women's title was Mandy Rose taking on Raquel Gonzalez, the champ. Raquel comes out with the motorcycle. That was cool. I enjoyed that. And
what about Mandy? What about Mandy's entrance?
With the wings, the little
the camera slowly moved up the body and got to the wings.
I know, jeez. They know what they're doing. The camera work is Kevin Dunn.
So does she.
Yeah, exactly. So the match was pretty good. Mandy Rose.
Pretty good to great, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of her stronger outings as a performer, in-ring performer.
For sure.
And so
I think because like if you were to say her last one-on-one that was of note was probably the one she had with Sonya at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And if you compare that one to this one, she's come a long way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. And then, so the great match between the two of them, even though, so the stipulation was, it was, like no DQ more or less, right? But Mandy was trying to pin. It had some
gimmicky name, yeah.
Yeah, she was trying to pin outside. Let's see, trick or street fight. That's what it was. And at one point, she tried to pin Raquel outside on the mat, and the ref's like, "No, you gotta get back in the ring." And she's like, "Oh, dope." But I like how she put the kendo stick through the chair and like kind of
I did too.
Locked up Raquel inside the chair. But anyway, we saw like that ghoulish figure, I want to call it. It's like the black, like aping out like a Grim Reaper type look.
And who was that?
And so hit Raquel with a shovel, and then Mandy got the pin in the win, and then the Grim Reaper type person comes in the ring, reveals herself to be Dakota Kai. So what?
Come on, I called it.
Yeah. So. Dakota Kai, I guess, is back in NXT now. When I guess we all thought she was going to go get called up. She was working dark matches too. So,
did you listen to last week's podcast? I didn't. I told you.
So, it looks like Raquel and Dakota are going to have one more match against each other at some point. Maybe at that point, loser leaves NXT. At that point, I don't know what could happen here. No. I mean, but it's like we've seen this play out already, but I guess we're going to do it one more time. And maybe, I can really see whoever wins or loses here gets moved on up to Raw or SmackDown. They probably should both be up on Raw or SmackDown by now. I mean,
I don't think so. I think Dakota should, but
Raquel needs more work.
Raquel needs a lot of work still. I see a lot more holes than you guys do, I think, or you do.
Yeah,
I'm high on her. She hasn't had 50 matches under her belt in her entire career.
Is it really? Wow. Yeah.
She debuted in the Mae Young Classic. She had a few of those coconut runs, and during the pandemic, she really came into the spotlight. That's about it.
Yeah,
and that's once a week.
Mm-hmm. And then let's see. Next up for the NXT tag titles, we saw MSK defend against Imperium.
Good match.
Would you say match of the night? I was thinking this might be the best match of the night. Well, it was closest to the old school takeover vibe. That match.
Yeah. For me personally, my favorite match of the night was Mandy and Raquel.
Okay.
So this was a second.
This was a lumberjack lantern match. So at just the rest of the locker room surround the ring. Which was kind of nice, I guess.
Kushida and Eichmann out there.
Jiro Eichmann.
That was grand. I couldn't tell if, until the announcers kind of spelled it out for me, because I was thinking they were doing the Steiners. And then then the announcers point out they were making fun of the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this match was great. I mean, obviously Imperium, bell to bell are some of the best workers in that tag team division. MSK, the youthful, upbeat, full energy. I mean, they always deliver. That one spot though, where they were trying to do the cutter on the outside and none of the lumberjack guys caught them and they fell straight on the mat. That looked painful. So I was like, ouch. But no, the match was great itself. Imperium picks up the victory and they're now the new NXT Tag Team Champions, which I don't know, man. I don't know if that's the right call. MSK, like we talked about this last week. We've been hardly been seeing.
It doesn't mean it's the end for them.
I know.
Yeah, they'll return, and
Imperium. I just feel like when I watch them lately, something's missing, and obviously
Walter.
It's Walter. Yeah, it's. I want them. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I feel like they represent Imperium, but Imperium is not in full force, and it just feels it's lacking.
It's like having Cedric and Shelton and no Bobby.
Yeah, exactly. So either hopefully Walter maybe comes to NXT 2.0 a little bit more often, but
he's jumping on the tour in Europe, so he's going to get a taste of what it's like and probably a bigger paycheck than he's used to.
And hopefully maybe that's their way of pursuing him to kind of come on over to North America more. Yeah. I just for me because like and NXT 2.0 doesn't really fit Walter's vibe, his whole presentation, like. NXT 2.0 is a lot more colorful and upbeat and, very much like...
Well, maybe they need something like that.
Maybe. They could, yeah.
Describing these terrible colors.
Yeah. So, but yeah, hey, and congrats to Imperium. They're the new tag team champions. But yeah, no, great match overall. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. All right, so the main event was Tommaso Ciampa defending the NXT championship against Braun Breaker. Now, I don't know about you, but like up until that point, we saw... Toxic Attraction get all the belts so far, all these title changes, except for Roderick Strong, but Toxic Attraction, the new tag team and women's champion, I really thought, okay, is Halloween Havoc really being set up as a changing of the guard of like the younger talent now taking all the titles and they're really setting up the future of NXT 2.0. So I thought, but by the time Braun Breaker was walking to the ring, I was like, oh my God, he's about to be champion tonight. Was not the case, but nonetheless, this match was really good. I really loved this match. What'd you think of it, Richard?
I wouldn't define it as good. I thought that it did what exactly should have happened. Where I didn't think for a second while watching it that Tommaso looked like he was going to lose it. I thought that they exposed Braun Breaker in a good way.
Yes.
He's green and he's the green new talent. Just because he's big and strong isn't going to beat the seasoned veteran. Because it looked like for everything that Braun had, Ciampa had an answer to it. And I thought that was great.
Yeah. Tommy, how about you? I know you really dug this match.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the in the beginning of the match, they had some great mat wrestling, and I felt that Ciampa was really ruthless in this match, and he was really taking it to Braun Strowman, but Braun Strowman was just
Braun Breaker.
Who's
Braun Strowman?
Yeah, who's that? What?
Braun Breaker.
He's back.
Yeah, Braun Breaker. I thought,
damn it, pal.
Okay, I just felt Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa were showing some good mat wrestling in the beginning, and Ciampa was very ruthless, during this match, and really taking it to Breaker, but Breaker was just, he was still a powerhouse in this match, and but like you said, Richard, you can't let an up and coming new baby face get over the established face, pretty much.
Yeah, I was watching this match, and Richard, you brought up a good point as far as it did kind of expose how green Braun is. And
it needed to happen because it's not so late in his development and career. It's so early in his career that shows, hey, he got there. He got to the main event.
He competed.
But he's not ready.
Yes, and about you guys, but this match really, for me, so much respect for Tommaso Ciampa for carrying this match.
Exactly. Yeah.
You watch it and you can look closely and see that he was calling a lot of spots. He was like whispering, in the Braun Breaker's ear, and he's.
Well, I mean, even the little things like Breaker not knowing how to take 2 DDTs and it being dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the selling of that, the effect of it. So no, but like for me, Ciampa, Tommy, as you said, he was ruthless. He just kept attacking him, and it's like he was like trying to smarten up this young guy. It's like, hey, you're in the ring with the champion.
Slow down.
Yeah. Tell him to slow down. But the best part of the match, and I literally popped when this happened, when Braun Breaker perfectly executed the Frankensteiner.
Not the Hurricanrana.
No, it's a Frankensteiner.
It's a Frankensteiner. It's just a term that the luchadors used.
They stole it. They stole it
from me, as Scott Steiner would say.
Yeah, I saw the interview where he got mad. He's like, no, it's a Frankensteiner.
It's a Frankensteiner.
But for this match, like I said, so much props to Tommaso Ciampa, because like, you know, he was ruthless in just laying into Braun Breaker and showing that he's a strong champion. But then when Braun made a comeback, you know, he sold for him properly. But Richard, you brought up a good point. As far as where the holes in Braun Breaker's in ring is, he has kind of like a limited moveset. And so whatever situation is in, he has a go-to spot. So I noticed it was kind of repetitive in that sense of like,
he's new, so he's going to what he knows.
Exactly. So that's where I was like, okay, he's not necessarily maybe ready, because, you know, when it comes to like being in the ring and improving a situation, reacting, when someone like him who's so young still, he, like I said, has limited moveset. So when he's in this situation, it's like, okay, when I'm in this spot, I'm always going to do this move to get out of it. Versus someone like who's much more seasoned, depending wherever the situation is, they have multiple ways of getting out of something. If that makes sense. I know it's speaking kind of very
makes sense.
Big,
I get it.
Vague terms. But when I was watching, he's like, okay, Tommaso Ciampa's coming after me. I'm just going to pick him up, slam him down, and go, ah, you know, scream at the camera. That's like his go-to thing he does. I notice a lot in a situation where he's trying to make a comeback. He just picks him up, slam him down, and screams at the camera.
And we saw him winded pretty early, you know?
Yes, he did look pretty gassed, too. Yeah. So,
yeah.
But no, the match was still great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, look, our critique of him is not critical in the sake that we're unhappy with it. It's that he's new. Like, he's not Kurt Angle. Like,
no.
Like, and you go back and watch, like, Kurt was good when he came in, but he wasn't wrestling machine Kurt Angle.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, and this is something I've heard some people talk about. Do you think Ciampa, it was a missed opportunity that he could have turned heel at the end? As far as, like, he is so
They ran out of time, too. I mean, I get that photo's floating around of them shaking hands after the match, but no one saw that on TV.
Okay, but I was thinking, like, could he turn heel as far as he's so desperate to keep that title and still represent the old era that he would go to extreme lengths to keep that title?
He already won. So he already kept the title.
Yeah.
Like, unless he cheated to win, but he didn't need to cheat to win because he wasn't desperate. He already had it won.
And that's the thing. Braun did get busted open with that DDT on the outside. That was pretty tough. And then, you know, so Braun still, you know, even in defeat, he still looked very strong. That's the other thing too, was he took an ass kicking from Tommaso Ciampa. And
I don't think he looked resilient. I don't think he looked strong. I mean, because like I said, I don't think that he had Ciampa in trouble whatsoever in that match.
Mm-hmm.
He slammed him a few times, hit and kicked him a few times, but like for the most part, that was all Ciampa. And it was a matter of Ciampa figuring out how much is in his gas tank. So
right,
and it just shows how valuable a guy like Ciampa is for that roster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they need to keep him around. So no, you know, hey. Okay, show for Halloween Havoc.
I actually felt after watching that match, the missed opportunity is not taking a chance on Gargano or Ciampa going to the main roster, because he's having a match with a big guy like that, then he can have a match with, you know, more seasoned people. Because when Ciampa gets an opportunity in the spotlight like that, he shines.
Yeah.
So,
and when he's, you know, and we know how great he is as a heel or whatever, he's great on the mic and all that stuff. So I just don't know if he wants to, you know, he said before can't commit to maybe a full-time schedule like that for his neck. So I don't know, but we'll see what happens, man, with his future hold. It's going to be cool. Like you mentioned, the European tour they're doing. So him and Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn are going to have like a triple threat match over in Europe. And then Cesaro and Walter are going to have some matches there. So I hope
Sami Zayn, I think, could benefit a lot with going back to NXT and kind of guiding those people.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of his character work as well. So
size. I mean, he's the right in between size. His rings ability is great. So yeah, we'll see.
Well, maybe he can. You saw on SmackDown, his promo got cut off early. And, like, they cut him off, and he could be conspiracy. Screw SmackDown. I'm going back to NXT now. So, but okay, before we talk SmackDown, let's jump to Monday Night Raw this week. And the big story here was finding a new number one contender for Big E in the WWE Championship. And, you know, Big E's out in the ring, and we see Seth Rollins come out and confront him first. And I like, you know, Big E I like what he said here. It's like, dude, you lost to Edge last week at Crown Jewel. Back of the line, man. You're not a number one contender right now. And then Rey Mysterio and Finn Balor, Kevin Owens all came out. They list off all their accomplishments. Mm-hmm. And this is something
I like that two of those people beat Seth Rollins for a belt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finn Balor told him, say, hey, I'm the first ever Universal Champion. 3
of them. Big E.
Mm-hmm.
Big E beat him for the NXT Championship.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. I sent you the match.
Yeah, Kevin Owens and
Kevin
Balor.
And Kevin Owens, he became Universal Champion being Seth Rollins, right?
With Triple H's help.
Yeah, I mean, but he said, I beat you right here in this ring, in this city. It was right here. Your feet were right here. So,
and if you want to watch the match between Seth Rollins and Big E from NXT, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on WWE's
the
YouTube
full
page.
match.
Yeah, they uploaded that earlier this week. So
on the WWE YouTube page.
But this is something we talked about last week after Crown Jewel. It's like, okay, here's the new era, the new season premiere of Raw. There are a lot of good opponents for Big E in his title reign right now. My only concern was, if you think about it, all 4 of these guys, they're all baby faces except for Seth Rollins. So it's kind of a little bit of a red herring of who was going to probably win this match, you know, as far as odd man out.
Sure.
So,
hey, Seth Rollins is really invoking his NXT rematch clause.
like what, 8 years later?
9 years later.
So,
Holds up.
So yeah, so Sonya just said, hey, let's make this a fatal 4-way ladder match for the number one contendership. So that was the main event here. Dude, this was a fun main event. Even though, as you said, we had a ladder match, we had another ladder match on NXT.
This was a good ladder match, though.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
I mean, when you got all these veterans in the ring, they're going to deliver. I mean, Kevin Owens, that big one spot at the end that he took at the end to kind of eliminated him from the match.
Do you think Big E has regrets after seeing Becky Lynch's promo later in the show and that he should have said back of the line, bitch?
That's true, yeah. I didn't think about that. But yeah, you're right.
But by the way, you know, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch have similar outfits, you know, even though, which is cool. All right. Kind of.
She's dressing him.
Yeah, exactly.
She's the man.
Yeah, she really is. Yeah. So, but the match itself was so good. And then ultimately we saw at the end, Seth Rollins climb up there and grab what looks like a red clipboard or folder.
Was, yeah.
So they didn't make clear, is this going to be like a Money in the Bank situation or that's just a contract? Like, you know, it's not a Money in the Bank briefcase that he grabbed. It's like a clipboard, but...
Well, he can get a WWE briefcase on WWEshop.com.
Yes.
Just put it in there.
So, but they never really specify like when this match is going to happen, if it's going to be after Survivor Series, maybe New Year's Day, that New Year's Day show they want to do, or it could be, you know, a lot sooner than we think. I'm guessing they left it open-ended like that, so that way it gives them a little more freedom to decide when it's going to happen. But yeah, no, Rich, anything else from that main event that really stood out for you?
No, not really.
No, so it was good. Seth Rollins, you know, wins the new number one contender. And it makes sense. He's the heel of that group of the 4 guys. So it's heel versus babyface. My only concern, Richard, is, okay, we saw Rey Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Kevin Owens. They all want an opportunity at the WWE Championship. All babyfaces. I hope this doesn't mean Seth is going to be WWE Champion sooner than later, and Big E's title reign is going to be pretty short.
We could also see Big E turn heel. That might be why they split him and his brothers up.
Or maybe Kevin Owens. I know you've been wanting Kevin Owens to go heel again. So
yeah,
I'd rather see Seth Rollins in the main event picture than Kevin Owens go heel. since we don't know what Kevin Owens' future holds.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of opponents there, but yeah, like I said, they're all babyface. So would it make sense for that? They may go after a heel champion, so that's why I'm just concerned is Seth going to be champion soon. So we'll see, but you know that's just my one takeaway from Raw that I noticed. Let's see, a couple quick things I just want to ask you guys about. So Damian Priest and Keith Lee, both
this was odd.
Yeah, they both got new ring entrances again. Music. Damian Priest. Let's start with him first. He's been off TV for a few weeks now. Now he's back out there. And it's like they repackaged him, even though he was doing fine. I thought before he's been off TV for a while, you know, they changed his music. It's more generic. And now it's like one side's like an angel, one side's or heaven and hell kind of dynamic.
Damian,
here.
The devil, Priest, the holy man.
Yeah. Okay. I guess they're really going to play up into that.
Whatever. Yeah. I'm just kind of like, this is like lame, but I don't need to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, well, my only thing is at the end where T-Bar threw the chair at him and then he like snapped and just starts going crazy. So it's like, is it like a Jekyll and Hyde thing where it's like, you know, if you piss him off enough, he'll just snap and then go really crazy?
That should be everybody.
Right.
But most people are presented as cowards now.
Yeah, so I don't know. That was just one thing I was questioning. It's like, what's going on here with that? And so,
why
exactly why? It was just they didn't explain why this change. What's going on? It's just the storytelling.
Had they established that he's made a heel turn, the new music and everything makes sense. But like I'm with you. I just don't get why. Because like part of his whole thing is it's cool that he does the arrow thing and then it lights up in fire.
Yeah. I
don't know why they think this is cooler than that.
Yeah, uncalled for and no explanation. So anyway, that's a little frustrating. Keith Lee, his new music, he's got a growl. And then
I kind of like it.
I did too.
And then he took on Cedric Alexander, and it was pretty much a squash match. But like,
I enjoyed it.
At some points, he would like go.
I enjoyed it.
I'm
sorry.
I like all of it with him.
Yeah.
I get it. It's kind of haha, but like Braun Strowman was doing stuff like this and it got over.
Okay.
Like when you embrace it, I think that people can tell that like we're behind this. I want to know where they're going with it. So, you know, I just don't want him to have matches because he's like a championship guy. I want to see him in some championship matches and such. I don't want to see him. I'm kind of over him wrestling small guys.
Yeah.
And then after he beat Cedric, Shelton stared him down and they walked away. So I kind of, all right, is he going to go after Shelton Benjamin next? Or, you know, could he go in the Hurt Business still? I'm still kind of hopeful. Maybe he'll join the Hurt Business.
I'm with you. I want to see that.
Yeah. So, and then real quick, I mean, we won't talk about it too long. Do you think Austin Theory and Dominic Mysterio, both 24 years old, is this the future of WWE right there? I mean,
don't care. Move on.
Okay. So, and then you know, we saw like the 3 tag teams go after the triple threat for number 1 contendership: Dirty Dogs, Alpha Academy, and Street Profits.
I thought Dirty Dogs against RK Bro was pretty awesome.
Yeah. That was a good match.
Just really, really good. I mean, 3 veterans in there. How could it be bad?
Yeah, and then ultimately we saw Matt Riddle roll up Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
And
the tag division is bright right now in WWE.
Yeah, on Raw, which is good. It's about time we need that. So,
much needed.
Yeah, and then, I mean, the other thing from the women's division, you know, saw Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch have a little face-off promo. It's going to lead to a match.
Back on the line, bitch.
And then Bianca Belair is not going to give up. She's still going to go after her. So they're going to have a match on this week's episode of Raw. So look forward to that. So no, Raw was, you know, a lot of good stuff happening there. So things to look forward to for this week's episode of Raw. All right, last but not least, let's just go touch on Friday Night SmackDown. Before we recorded tonight, we all kind of agreed, you know, it felt kind of flat for the most part. I think like the first 30 minutes was really good, but after that, it just kind of fell apart.
After Charlotte, it fell apart.
Yeah, it just, and for me, the big thing was there was no Roman Reigns tonight, or on that episode of SmackDown. No Roman Reigns. He appeared in a dark match after they went off the air. But yeah, man, it just really shows how important Roman Reigns is for WWE and SmackDown specifically. He's that glue holding that show together.
Okay, here's where I'll disagree with you. I think if they had done Charlotte at the end, you wouldn't have noticed that Roman wasn't. You would notice that he wasn't there, but I think it would have made the show better.
So yeah, the opening segment, Charlotte comes out, cut this promo. I really liked how she called out the women's locker room and said, like, you guys make a big deal when you win your championship. Like, oh, me, I'm so happy. For me, it's just another Friday when I win. I was like, whoa, shots fired from Charlotte Flair.
I don't understand what that means.
Well, you gotta read the dirt sheets, man.
Yeah,
so,
gotta read.
So, and she's pretty much looking for a new contender, and we see Sasha Banks come out, and it's like, hey, I want a chance after, and she said, well, no, we've had plenty of chances. I want someone fresh. And Shotzi Blackheart comes out. It's all right, good for Shotzi. All right. Hey, it's a new start, a new era for SmackDown. Shotzi's being pushed as a single star, so she comes out. It's the missile on her tank. Pat McAfee's like, you see that missile come fly? Pat McAfee
is gold.
Dude, during the Trick or Street fight, he was amazing.
I skipped that completely.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay. So Shotzi and Charlotte have a great opening match here. Great showing for Shotzi. The crowd was really getting into her. We see Sasha Banks on the side, though, kind of being her manager for the night and just kind of give words of encouragement or some strategy.
Come on, stay on her, stay on her.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, so,
come on.
And then ultimately, it led to her.
Not Jay.
Not Jay.
No.
But it led to her distracting Shotzi, and Charlotte got the victory. And Sasha got in the ring and was trying to be like, hey, good match, whatever. And then Shotzi got pissed and beat the crap out of her. So everyone's like, oh my God, Shotzi's going heel now. And I'm like, no, I think, it just kind of, she was just frustrated, Yeah. Sasha kind of interfered.
And Sasha, she cost her the match. I mean, she probably wouldn't have won anyway, but she still lost because of Sasha.
Yeah. So it was interesting to see that everyone's like, oh my God, Shotzi's heel now. I think,
she can't take personal responsibility in her loss because Sasha Banks screwed things up for her. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, let's just hypothetically speaking, Shotzi did turn heel and beat the crap out of Sasha. So is now Sasha a baby face now? I mean, is she now going to be the top baby face for the women's division on SmackDown? Because Charlotte cut a definitely heel promo. Shotzi getting violent, beating the crap out of Sasha. So Sasha, on the outside looking in, is the baby face out of the three. So cool. Good for her. I'm just good for Shotzi. It's like a fresh, heel for the main event scene for the women's division on SmackDown. Which is much needed.
Love it.
And then even, her and Charlotte might be, whenever that's done, she can be like a heel for the mid-card level for that women's division. So, no, I'm looking forward to that. And then Adam Pearce, appears on the screen and he says Brock Lesnar is also getting fined $1 million. But he called himself, what was it, the engine of the, did you notice that? He called himself, what was it, the engine of the company?
No. I was kind of tuned out at this point as well because it was when they post stuff all over WWE's website, Instagram, Twitter, and then they say Adam Pearce is going to make some statement about Brock Lesnar. It's like, yeah, the whole world already knows.
Yeah.
Why are you acting like you didn't put this out on everywhere?
Yeah, exactly. And I heard you saying. And then we saw King Xavier or King Woods.
Oh, coming to America right here. Yes.
When you thought so?
That's what they're doing.
So he knighted.
They're doing Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall.
So he knighted Kofi Kingston. So he's Sir Kofi now, which I'm like, see, this is cool. Okay, this is how a baby face is treating the King of the Ring gimmick. And so he's making his buddy his Sir Kofi. And it was cool. Like earlier, they ran to hit row in the back. So a little fun, playful interaction there. But when in the ring, the Usos confront them. It was just amazing. It was like, part of me was like, man, we're going to see them go at it again. We've seen them wrestle each other so many times in so many forms over the years. But at the end of the day, they have an amazing chemistry together in the ring. And the main event was still pretty good, though. Yeah,
arguably the best tag teams of the last 5 years.
Exactly. So the main event itself of the New Day versus the Usos was a lot of fun. And then ultimately the New Day pick up the victory, which was, hey, that's, that good on them. So maybe I wonder if it's going to lead to a future tag team opportunity, a title shot for them. So, yeah, and that was about it. I mean, we saw Drew McIntyre doing more of the open challenge stuff. I guess, Richard, let me ask you this. I feel like whenever they're trying to reestablish like a character, babyface or heel, they just make them do open challenges. For me, it just feels flat because it's like, you're just randomly
save it for the belt.
Yeah. Like you're just randomly throwing two people together with no storyline. And I get they're trying to make Drew look like a badass baby face and just beats up everyone. He's like demanding matches. He's calling himself the SmackDown Warrior, which is pretty cool. And he's like, I'm a fighter. I want to fight people every week. So bring out someone to challenge me. And Mustafa Ali comes out.
It would have been better if they had some sort of scuffle backstage that turned into a match and him just coming out.
Yeah.
Because, like, I would, like I said, I just would prefer, they already kind of established that the U.S. champion will have these open challenges.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it just kind of, I don't know. I also kind of came to the conclusion that they should have a women's television championship.
Yeah, it's like a mid-card title. Yeah.
Yeah. But like when you do that, it's like on TV, it's like WCW and NWA had. It's like it's a 10-minute match. Yeah. If you can't beat the champion in 10 minutes, then the champion retains. The match is over.
Yeah.
There's some good, like Shotzi, perfect example, or Liv Morgan. It's like people want to see those women with belts, but it's like they're not in the same league as Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. And you can't force them to have matches every week without bringing the like champions like that or wrestlers like that down a notch to meet them at their level. They need to work up to their level.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. That's the thing. It's just the women's division. They have main eventers and they have mid-carders, and they need to embrace that mid-card division even more with a title. And that way it gives them something more focused direction to fight for, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Drew McIntyre, it's like, I love Drew McIntyre, but it's just kind of throwing him out there with these open challenges. It's like, okay, good for him. He's just kicking people's ass. And I guess they just figured that's how he's going to win the crowd over. Just go out there and just fight people. It's like, well, no, give me some more substance. Open challenges really don't do much for me personally as a fan. It's like,
same. Unless it's someone that's not on the roster.
Yeah, exactly. It's a surprise one night only thing.
Yeah.
But you, like you said, give them like a simple scruffle in the back. NXT UK does that all the time, where it's just two guys bumping each other. Say, hey, you want to go fight? All right, let's go do it. So like, do something basic just to set up a match. So, and I know you said you fast forwarded. If you have a chance, watch Trick or Street Fight between Corbin and Madcap Moss, Shinsuke Nakamura, Rick Boogs. It was just, Pat McAfee was hilarious on commentary. He made that match entertaining. That's all I want to say. It's just for Pat McAfee. And then, we saw Shayna defeat Naomi, and Sonya's still trying to get up over Naomi. So I like the story.
Quick pin. That was a quick pin.
I know.
I think it was an accident, but it was a quick pin.
But like, I'm glad like Naomi has her own little separate story.
I like that.
Against authority figure like Sonya Deville.
That was my second favorite thing on the show.
It just gives, outside the main event scene, it gives the women's division other storylines.
Depth.
Exactly. So, but other than that, a little flat for me. I mean, they were just on FS1 once again this week, and they'll be back on Fox next week. And Pat McAfee at the end said, baseball sucks, which I was like,
that's the last thing you heard.
That's the last thing you heard on SmackDown. I was like, damn,
baseball
Pat
sucks.
Shots fired from Pat McAfee. So,
shots fired.
Yeah, so I wonder if next week on Raw and SmackDown we'll start seeing the build for Survivor Series, because it will be November now. So something to keep your eye out on for. So, all right, let's start wrapping things up. Richard, where can the Kliqsters find you online?
You can find me on Instagram at Pro Wrestling 101. And please send all your hate mail to at Baby Huey 83 on Twitter and Instagram.
Thank you. Tommy, how about yourself?
Well, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at IronFist1982.
And I'm Baby Huey. Follow me on Facebook at Baby Huey Official, Twitter and Instagram. As Richard just said, I feel like a parrot to you now. At Baby Huey 83, at In The Kliq on social media as well.
Let me do your handle. I'll do your handle from here on out.
So subscribe to us wherever you get your audio podcasts at, especially on YouTube. Help subscribe to us on YouTube, comment, leave a like on those videos as well. Helps out a lot. InTheKliq@gmail.com. And on that note, let's go home. And that's the bottom line, because Huey said so.